right, so before we get to
Yeah.
our grand finale, it'll be in Group C. Let's talk a bit about Group B a little more. A lot of movement today, but you can't emphasize enough, Jeff, how important that doubleheader split was for Team Pubes. 0-3 would have all eliminated them.
Yeah, they've been put in almost an impossible spot. They would have needed to really rack up 3 wins with very large block counts. That's not easy to do. To prolong 3 games to make sure your tiebreaker scenario is in your favor, because they essentially would have lost to everyone at that point, almost everybody. So regardless, that's all out the window, Jake. They got the win they needed. They're sitting at 1-2. Not a great spot, but they have an 0-1 on the board as well. They have a 2-1 up top. And then Roan and Big Cat, they've only played once. So they're very much in the mix now. Things could have gotten super ugly had they lost there and gone to 0-3. Again, valiant effort by Frank, solid effort by Nick, but just not enough. I think the inexperience played a major factor there. Frank almost had it. He had his finger. I want to show you the block right here. He had his finger right here leveraging the block, and I think as he pulled the other block, he pushed this one too much, and it tilted the tower. I'm glad I had this up here to diagram that, but that's, I think, ended up doing him in. But Frank and Nick, they nearly pulled it out, but you got to be happy if you're a Pubes fan right now. I'm Pubes 2 fan, maybe not so much, but Pubes fans got to be fired up.
All right, let's look at the Group B standings after that doubleheader from Pubes 2. Team Prest has only played 1 match, but a lot of shifting in the standings today.
A lot of shifting, and that match came down to a lot of mental warfare, a lot of psyching out. They're not going to psych out Pubes. They're not going to psych out Pubes 2. They are very good. Don't get me wrong. Big Cat is one of the best in the office. Roan, very good as well. Easily one of the best in the office alongside Big Cat. But they won that first game, I think, solely because of just that warfare, getting in Billy's head. They're not going to be able to do that against Pubes and Pubes 2. So be very curious to see how they perform against Frank, who has a lot of songs. Frank was doing a lot of singing there. We'll see how that counteracts the abilities of Big Cat and Roan. But right now, this one is very, very wide open.
Yeah, remember, the top 2 in the standings advance to the playoffs. But important to note, Berserkers officially have the tiebreaker over Team Pubes because of the regular season sweep.
They do. That's got to feel great for them. So it's essentially a 2 wins at once for them. Very big in their jump. They're guaranteed to finish no lower at this point than I believe third is if they tie with KFC in fights.
All right, now it is time to turn the page to our grand finale of this triple header. It is the third and final match. We're going to move over to Group C. It is the favorites in this league, DeChalk at 1-0, taking on Team Josh Duhamel at 0-1.
Yep, very, very solid win for Big Ev and Liz DeChalk. Big Ev had that now famous 15-minute pull. One of the craziest we've ever seen here, a 15-minute turn. They're 2 of the best. Many people say Liz the best here. On the other hand, Cons helping pick the disappointment of Kate up off the floor from last time. She celebrated the victory, or so she thought as she walked away. The tower toppled over. A very tough loss to PFT and Kelly Martin, the football team. So here we go today, another big spot. You don't want to go 0-2 if you're Josh Duhamel. He phoned down saying he was okay with the loss, but would be very disappointed to see an 0-2 start for the former Transformer star team owner Josh Duhamel.
Liz is the captain of DeChalk, and she is widely known as one of the, if not the best players in the office. Why is that so?
Yeah, Jenga block rating of a 91.7. She almost always goes for the outside block. She's a very skilled and methodical, I used that earlier, player. She is precise. She goes for the blocks that she needs to pull. She doesn't do anything risky, and that's why she's so successful. JBR will almost go ever as high as 100, so 91.7 is nearly perfect. That's just how good she has been.
Yeah, and I'm Big Ev on the other side. 3-2 individually, but they look like a team to beat.
Yeah, his Jenga block rating a little lower, but climbing as he picks up more wins. He's part of a couple tough losses with Glenny Balls, but he's been outstanding as well. They're just a combination of 2 players who know the block to pull. They don't fuck around. Nothing stupid. They don't try any hijinks. They're just here to win, and in the end, that's kind of all that matters, Jake.
Yeah, but it's the chalk in teal, and over to Team Josh Duhamel in green, Captain Cons.
Yeah, much lower rating there, but actually Cons played with Big Ev before. They were teammates in the past. They won together. He was definitely hurt by the losing block from the last match. You would see that Jenga block rating in more the positive center. He's a riskier player. Goes for the center blocks. Those are much tougher pulls. Not a lot of room to work with the block there. Cons has been a very solid player, better than his stats indicate.
And ending with their captain, Kate, got a little cocky prematurely, and it backfired in their opening match.
Yeah, pulling the losing block is what is going to tank her rating. They're a very low Jenga block rating of 87.3. It was tough. It's been eating her away for about a week now, just a little under a week. She had that premature celebration after PFT pulled one of the more gutsy moves we've seen in Jenga. They got to pick it up here. Like I said, Josh Duhamel firmly behind them and supporting them. This is the moment they have to come back and go to 1-1.
All right, it is time to begin the finale of our broadcast today. And before we start, down to Spider for the rules.
Welcome both teams to Stool Stream Stadium. Couple rules before we get started. Teams must remain in the box. Your teammate must stay in lines that are taped on the floor. When it comes to extracting a block, you can only use one hand. This is your first warning. Should it occur in the match, your teammate will be forced to extract the first block they touch on their next turn. Please now take out your phones, retweet the streams. This will be the only time I want to see your phones. And if you would like to do so, please feel free to shake your contestant's hand. Back up to the booth, Jake and Jeff.
All right, thanks so much, Spider. 1-0 to Chalk. 0-1 Josh Duhamel.
Interesting note, too, I just realized as I was looking at the standings here, another one of the 0-1 teams is Donnie's team. Donnie in a unique position down here. All the people on the floor outside of Spider are actually in Group C with the Chalk and football team on top, and then 0-1 Josh Duhamel, and then in last place based on average blocks per match. You see it on the board here. Actually, they're tied for last. It would be the Rangoon Wranglers. All these teams had the same number of blocks in the first match.
So the Chalk can make a statement and be the only 2-0 team, not only in this group, but in the entire league, with a win today. So let's start things off with our grand finale. The block order is posted on the wall for our players to follow, and we will begin things down the stream for our third and final match. It'll be Liz starting things off after Kate, Big Ev, and then Captain Khan. So here goes Liz Gonzalez, the best record in the office individually, 6-3. We mentioned Billy played in his 10th match earlier. The same goes for Liz today.
Billy was much better than the other day. It's hard for Liz to be much better than she was the other day. She was pretty flawless.
Finds that Tittleman's crest after a few pokes and goes with the right side.
That's kind of the difference there with Liz. You saw she tried to discover things, not just go for the first thing she looked at. We see that a lot. The first couple blocks, people don't, not that they don't take it seriously, but it's like, whatever, I'll just touch a block and yank it out of the tower because it's all going to be easy. It's a much different process for DeChalk.
And there's Kate eliminating the chance at a hanging tower. Just 2 blocks in and into the Square of Doom goes Big Ev, the 25-year-old from Goshen, New York, who called his teammate Liz, quote, unbelievable.
They were both unbelievable in the last match, but that is right. Liz, definitely one of the top 2 or 3. Many say number 1. Big Ev up there right as well. That last match was fantastic.
And now Captain Khan's getting his first look. We asked Captain Khans, were you mad at your partner Kate for the premature celebration costing you guys? And he stood by her side. He said he was never mad at her. Sometimes things happen in the course of a game and you regret them, but he never was.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the celebration all we want. The tower was in absurd shape. It was essentially the last move of the game. Either her move was going to win it, or the next move from Kelly Martin was going to lose it. So it was one or the other. She went for the win. It's all she could do. She only had one option on the tower, and the tower just happened to fall. I don't know if she really could have done much else to keep that thing standing, but I think the celebration is what made it look a little worse than it really was, because really, in the end, that pull was not easy.
Questions 5 and 6 are what we are wrapping up the Play Barstool contest with. 42 players alive, the most popular pick to end this match. Once again, Kate, 31%, but pretty even down the line the rest of the way. Khan's at 24%, Liz at 23%, and Big Ev at 22%. And remember, question 6 is a fill in the blank. You have to pick the exact number of blocks. The most popular pick, 37 blocks at 14%.
I think this is the hardest one to predict. We've seen all 4 of these players play very well in the past. Obviously, their stats kind of up and down. All stats, by the way, the Jenga Block based off of the first matches of this league. Just league matches, nothing to do with before that.
Big Ev, no issues whatsoever. And the pace continues to pick up as we are back to Captain Khans at the bottom of the order. And he seeks another Tittleman's Crest. And Jeff, all but one move so far have been via the Tittleman's Crest.
And this is a very quick game again. We have seen this now. These are 2 slower paced teams, very focused. They typically pull off fantastic moves, both of them. But this entire day is the quickest that we have seen, I think, by far. We're only an hour and 20 minutes in. We're on our third game already.
Yep.
Often we're halfway through the second game at this point.
Right, but
Not complaining. They're all fantastic, but like this is very unusual
Liz is known to
for
play
Jenga.
hour-long games, though.
Remember, Jeff,
She
in the
doesn't
Chalk's league
Roll over and
debut,
die.
Big Ev had the longest
keeps
individual
on
turn
playing.
ever. It ended up benefiting him. He had 15 minutes on a turn, but well worth it.
The 15-minute kid, they're calling him, the Chalk fans. It was. And the funny thing is, we
focused
actually
on right
almost
now.
saw that same scenario
got this.
earlier. Rudy had the same issue. However, Ev's blocks were like, when you put two magnets
does.
together and they just do pull. I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't know what the fuck that means. But when you put two magnets and they move apart, that was Ev's blocks. Rudy didn't have that problem. We almost saw that exact same thing happen in game one.
Kate goes with the west side, no issues
Magnetization?
to reach the double figures point of this match. And now it is back to Big Ev. He said he really respects his opponents because he supports and loves the troops, but he did make a note
Thank you. This
that
Veterans Day week.
he says they've got 3 people on their side. Some say that's an advantage for Team Josh Duhamel.
They do. Yeah, Josh Duhamel has given them a lot of tips and advice. That's what a team owner does. The only celebrity team owner of any of these Jenga teams. You may recognize Josh Duhamel from his show Las Vegas.
Nope.
Jeff, how about your keys to the match presented by Heineken Hard
Nope.
Seltzer?
Never heard.
Win a day with Todd Hamilton.
Win.
Married to first.
Transformers.
You're in the driver's seat basically for the Chalk.
didn't
If
see
if
that
you
part.
win this, you are sitting very
Shia
pretty
LaBeouf
atop
one?
the group. I know it's only 2-0.
Well, he's in
Play
all
6
of them.
matches, but 2-0 right now in this group when you're that good, that's fantastic. That's like the Chiefs starting 10-0 basically.
It's been a
And then
long
forget
time
about
since I've seen
Thursday.
the first one.
Josh Duhamel said they need to forget about Thursday because 1 loss will not ruin you, but 2 losses put you in a very tough position.
And those keys to the match, as always, brought to you by a Heineken Hard Seltzer, just 100 calories,
I got stuck for a
gluten-free,
hot second
and no added sugar. Real vodka, real juice for real fans just like us. Hashtag Nooners. And Jeff, let's steer back a little to your point. Forget about Thursday. Kate said she actually heard from Josh Duhamel himself.
Oh,
He
wow.
reached out and said to stay calm. The league's far from over and go slow. So some nice advice for the man whose team they're named after.
Former husband of Fergie
Josh
from the Black
Duhamel.
Eyed Peas.
Long-time Stoolie.
Yeah.
People don't realize. Brick by brick.
Big time Stool.
Duhamel's been in since the Milton days.
A lot of people have been saying that Liz is the queen's gambit of Jenga. When she looks at the tower, she just sees the next 6 to 12 moves. So she always knows what she's doing.
Queen's Gambit not starring Josh Duhamel.
No.
Not in that show.
No,
Liz with
I've
another
never
Tittleman's
consumed
crest.
Josh Duhamel content, but someday I will. I look forward to that day.
And it is good.
Do you? Me?
Already nearly
Yeah.
15 in on
I
this one.
suggest you start with Life as We Know It if you want a good cry.
13.
Oh, for real.
Nearly
13.
15.
Yes,
Yeah,
nearly
nearly.
15.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
nearing that 15 mark.
Yes.
Maybe the
Remember,
third row up.
exact blocks is
Liz,
what we are searching
I
for
meant,
There it
in
is.
question 6.
Kate is not the queen's gambit. She does not know what she's doing. She kind of just goes out and pokes things.
But
and
I
hopes for the
do
best.
love pills and alcohol.
Oh,
Keep
yes.
that in mind from Donnie when he chirps the
But
teammates.
not currently.
Not
Yeah.
currently.
Not currently. Not with child.
Right.
Keep in mind with Donnie,
Not
these
with
are his
Kyle.
opponents.
True.
These are in his group.
Important to
Donnie
specify.
may be throwing some jabs out there because he knows he needs Kate and Cons to lose here.
Oh.
Donnie on
I,
bye
you
week.
know,
A little
I would,
bias, maybe.
I
Group
would
C.
prefer if Liz and Big Ev lost, to be honest, but I will not be interfering in this game because I lost a heartbreaker to these guys.
Yeah.
They put up
Tough.
quite a fight.
Tough cookies.
Just when you think they're done, they're not done. So don't get cocky, kid.
Big
okay?
Ev going
Oh, it's like a
counterclockwise
Tostino pizza roll.
on row 4 again. Friendly reminder, the highest you can
Just
go.
when you think it's not hot, it's still hot.
It's
yeah.
still, yep.
Figure, Jeff, we're
Struggle there.
23 broadcasts in. We appreciate anyone who's
But
tuned
the
into
thing
all
is,
of them, but if
Big
this
Ev
is your first,
thrives
gotta
when
keep
he's
you up to date on the house
struggling.
rules
I've-
here inside the
I
triple
saw him.
X.
He had like a 20-minute move last time, and he won that game.
Big Ev slow at the finish line of this turn, but it works. And he drops it down for another full slate.
I feel like it's the best way for just like.
Ev loves the drop. Ev and Nick Durrani love the drop. You'll see that drop in the middle of the tower quite often from them.
Now you might have to fix the one.
Khan's keeping up with the Tittleman's crest run here. Got it out. Can go any place he chooses. And Jeff, this is a very high volume of Tittleman's crest. Again, Tittleman's crest is when you're poking out a middle block and it creates that hole in the middle of a row. Do you think that will help or hurt the longevity of this match with all of these crests going on?
Typically it hurts it. Typically hurts it because a Tittleman's Crest on any row, you have a maximum of 2 options. You can go left, right. You can go middle. When you do that middle block, you've eliminated all options on that row. And there's a lot of them right now. So you have a bunch of rows that are now untouchable. The rows where the only thing you could do would be some sort of wizard tablecloth type move, but even that seems impossible. So any of these Tittleman Crests here will just continue to eliminate moves and make sure the game does not last very long.
Yeah, in fact, 12 out of the 17 pulls so far have been via the Tittleman's Crest. Our production room counting up the numbers there. Big shout out to them.
Which is the hardest block. You'll see in the Jenga block rating, the JBR, Tittleman's Crest, the middle block is weighted as a more successful thing for you to pull. Outside blocks weight a little less, but a successful middle pull will help bump up your Jenga block rating.
My goodness.
Big F going with the eastern side of that penultimate row from the bottom.
I would say, I would say outside block is a first down, a Tittleman's Crest is a touchdown.
All right. All
Especially
that
this late
matters,
into the
though,
game.
is the win for these two teams. Remember, there's something on the line for you playing the app, and there's something on the line for them. 10K goes to the league champion, which will be crowned in January.
Smart pull down here for Ev. Yep.
Goes counterclockwise once again.
Yank it and spank it, Big Ev, or as I like to call Bev. Beverly.
I've actually never heard him call Big Ev Bev.
Yeah.
You know who calls me that? Hank.
I call him the beverage boy.
Don't get too cocky with the big taps. It's wiggling.
Now it's Cons chiseling one out on the far side. There's our Sky Cam presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer.
It's a great shot right there. You see him trying to wiggle that one free. Successful.
Lovely.
Which way?
I think you're still good on either side at this point.
Still a lot of moves left, Jake, but there's a couple moves that could be made with Tittleman's Crest that would really eliminate a ton from this tower. The next 2 to 3 moves are going to be pivotal. Let's check back in, not that we're going to go away, but check back in on the state of this tower in probably 2 moves.
All right.
See that?
After 21, I think we'll get a good sense of how long this game will last.
So Jeff, it's interesting because the majority of these Tittleman's Crests, Liz has 0 issues whatsoever on this turn right now. The majority of them are on the bottom half down. There still seems like some options on the top half.
You just can't leave a block that easy at the bottom for Liz there. Cons knew it, had the immediate reaction. You can't give her those easy pulls. She will find them immediately, and the turn will be over within seconds.
So now back
Liz
to Kate.
normally doesn't have any trouble until block 30 to 40.
Wow. Like nothing.
Like butter. Okay.
A lot of easy moves here. Just keeping the tower alive. And there it is, without the Tittleman's Crest at the bottom there, keeping more moves alive and on the table.
What do you think is the reason for the theme of the quick pace, not only in this match, but all of them? It is colder than usual in here. Do you think the weather loosens up the blocks a little bit?
I think it is the cold. I think the colder weather loosens the blocks up. You can have quicker matches. The tower wobbles a little bit. Remember, warm outside, cold in here. It's warmer in New York today, probably in the 60s, 70s, colder in this room. And I can't overstate enough, bitter cold.
Ev once again going counterclockwise.
Don't want to lose
Tried to
circulation in your
swivel.
fingertips in this game.
Can't
You
swivel
wanna have a
much
good
more.
feel
You
for
must
the blocks.
extract now, must
Looking
pull.
real wobbly now.
All right, and he has gone full tilt with that one block.
Careful.
He's
Will he be able to
dislodging
tilt
the
it out?
side. How much is it dislodging on the side, Donnie?
It is
Should I put it
not
back here? They gonna move?
budging. I think he's going to have to give it a yank or a
At the
spank.
bottom is going.
Just be
How many?
Start pulling towards you. They're not
60
twisting
seconds to
because
pick a block.
Going to
this
Liz
block
for
over
help
here is
here.
starting to come out.
Liz at 6-3. A 7th win individually here would be the most in the office.
If you're looking at the screen
Big
right
Ev
now, the
likes
block
to play safe.
on the
I don't know
other
if he's going
side
to
of
fully commit.
the block on
Probably
the other
got
side of that row
35
is
seconds to make that choice.
dislodging a bit there.
Slow it down. Slow it down.
I think he's just going to stick with that one.
I'd go a little faster if I was you.
Yeah, I would just yank that baby.
Yeah.
A little taunting from Cons and Kate.
Right.
Yank it.
Big F
gonna
has
give it a
this
little
one
tug
about
job?
98% of the way out. But will it wobble once it fully comes out?
Give it a good old tug. The tugboat is what they would
Got
call
it.
Big
Now
F,
will he
actually.
choose left or right?
That side.
That side.
This side.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Cons, take your sweet time. No more hard
Squeezes it
taps.
together.
It's gotta be a little.
Now the
little
work is
guys.
cut out for Captain Cons. The 35-year-old has an individual record of 2-1. However, he has never pulled a losing block.
All right.
Never
Ooh,
pulled a
he's going
losing
for a little
block.
pokey tug.
Easy
Yep.
one for Cons.
Beautifully
He is
chosen.
loving that because
Look at
remember, he was a
that.
little
Oh,
exasperated
textbook.
when Liz had that
TNT.
easy pull earlier.
Yep.
Cons fired up.
Beautiful.
Saw that one from his dugout and attacked it.
Ooh, Cons,
prey.
second guess. A little uncomfortable up there right now. What's going on?
He's got the jitters.
Okay. Just because it's freezing
They
in
don't
here.
teach you how to
He's
play
fine.
Jenga in the military. You have to climb towers in the military.
Jeff,
not
also something of
break
note.
him down.
No violations yet today. It's a rarity.
No, that is very rare. Good players,
I mean-
experienced players. Now, Frank almost had
Did
one.
you have to climb
Unbelievable how
towers?
Liz
Oh,
finds these easy
basic
blocks. It's
training?
insane.
Not often, no.
You
We'll
can't
make it seem
leave
a lot cooler than
any
it is.
slight gap. She will find it. She will find that quick pull and move on. Great retower. Ev, communication there to Liz.
Liz.
That allows him to make sure he has an easy retower in his turn. This team is just damn good.
And Jeff, you just touched on it, but explain to the stoolies watching at home
yeah.
why middle and not side.
So basically, putting it in the middle means Kate has to tower on the left or right, meaning Ev has a free open spot that he can attack from the side. Had Liz put it on the other side, or on the east or west side, Kate could have retowered on the opposite end, meaning Ev would have had to have done a drop in the middle. And the middle block causes a lot of problems. We saw last week, he had a 15-minute turn trying to squeeze a block in on the middle. So towering on the top, when you're the first one on a new slate, starting a new slate, you always want to make sure you think about your teammate's move 2 turns away.
Won't have to do that right now, but first things first, you got to find the extraction. And with the early Tittleman's Crest run, the options are limited already.
Oh, this one, like one of these.
Yeah, it's almost time, Jake, for my favorite part, block math or tower math. There are plenty of options right now, but we are running towards the end.
I don't know how much. This one's pretty loose.
60 seconds to pick a block.
Actually, maybe not.
Yikes, that's not a lot of time. Oh, man. Probably more like 50 seconds now.
There's still a lot. There's still 9 possible moves here, Jake. So we're
Probably
ways
40.
away.
Plenty to work with. And remember, Liz is
50
done.
seconds now. 5-0.
She's played a major role in
Right.
coaching
20.
Big Ev from the sidelines.
Start feeling that baby
calling
up.
the shots.
You got to look for
The
opportunities.
tower general, if you will.
Up one,
Wait, oh, right there.
down. That row right there. No, no, no. Up.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
30 seconds
Searching
now to
for
pick a
that
block.
full slate, about
All
one
right, you really got
quarter
to
of the way down the
really
tower.
Feely with that thing.
Now goes one row above,
There it is.
and Liz
and he
saw that
finds
one
it.
from the
That was the one you
sidelines
thought.
and told her partner
Liz,
exactly what
No.
to do.
Oh,
That
She's
is the
coaching.
communication
Maybe
that
come
people
over here.
crave.
See the ones
There are teams that
sticking out
wish they
already?
had
I
that
mean,
type
that's
of
gonna make it
communication. We've
crazy,
seen good
but-
communication today, KFC in fights,
headset on
Billy
him.
and Rudy, Nick and Frank, but that right there is unmatched.
Oh, easy with the taps,
Whoa.
though.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Aggressive
I like
tap
that.
from
Let's see if I can
Cons.
find an
Too
easier
quick.
one.
He
Okay.
caught himself up
The one that's hanging out.
onto
I
block
have full faith in
27.
you.
Tower getting a little wobbly.
Yeah, do whatever.
Real easy
little
with the
while.
tapping. Because the whole tower is really.
It's on now.
What will Captain Cons
Nicely
do? He
done.
goes for that Tittleman's Crest, 4 rows down.
Smart.
Eliminates another row.
Smartly chosen.
Oh,
You got this.
big
He
breath.
continues to exhale, and he
What
looks
was
the
that?
other way.
It's called breathing,
It's
Spider.
a gentleman's
Not-
move.
It's
not
out.
shame the
Now will
competitors
he
for breathing.
choose left, right, or center?
I think that was a little too much.
Oh,
I don't
Not
think
really
that
overthink the
complicated. It's
placement
not
here.
that complicated.
Doing the math
can't
in
go
his
wrong.
head.
This is a tough look for Cons right now. No, I'm going to have
Yeah.
to say it.
And he goes middle. Is that the right
That's the
choice?
right move. That was right. I don't
make it
know
a-
what he was thinking there.
Liz is back in the box.
Crazy.
She's usually a QP. That doesn't stand for cutie pie. That stands for
Damn
quick
it.
puller. And
Christ.
look at that. Once
Liz-
again, a quick pull.
Every time she goes quick, she just one-ups herself.
And there leaves another extra move in now the 4th row. No Tittleman's Crest. Could have eliminated that row. Kind of a reset there on the retower.
You know what this reminds me of when she goes quick move and then beats her own record in Mario Party? When you're playing a
Yes.
mini game, it shows your own record, and then when you break it, Toad comes out and congratulates you on a new record.
Make it wobbly.
You get that reference at all?
Yeah, I mean, I do. That's video
Okay.
games.
Okay, good.
You beat like your high
Last,
score.
okay, last time I brought up Facebook, we went over everyone.
Well, I mean, that was like a weird Facebook. Like, I mean, that's
Okay.
that's a video game high score.
Okay. Glad we're on the same page. Now, Kate.
You know what Frogger
Love
is?
it.
Of course.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Kate, a lot of quick pulls today herself, too. Oh,
Oh, she gets cocky again.
cocky.
We gotta
Is it
stop
worth
being
it,
cocky.
though?
Remember,
she can't resist.
she rocked the block like a
Please don't
baby
do
in her
that.
last turn, and as she completed it, the tower fell. You can watch that clip on YouTube
Nah.
and Twitter,
That's okay.
making sure she doesn't get ahead of herself right here.
Please.
Here's another look, Jeff,
Enough.
at this stare down at
I
our camera.
appreciate the flair
She
for the
could
dramatic, but I
not
don't
resist
appreciate
herself. She had to give it a bit of a stare into the camera as she makes a fantastic pull. Look at that. It was actually not all the way out there. She was still taking that block, extracting it from the tower while she's looking at the camera. And I think she's happy now because she knows she was able to be cocky and it did not affect the tower to fall. That's redemption for Kate.
Yeah.
Let's go. Work.
On to
Pardon
Big
me.
Ev now. Block 30.
We're nearing some big decisions now. You can really impact this tower. Looking at the tower, seeing the moves out there is very important as Big Ev eliminates another row here.
Going with that fourth row.
She's going to pull out another cock block. I'd say
Could be.
that's when you pull out a
It
block very
is out.
cockily.
All right.
Yeah, I think that was
Time to
relatively
start
cocky.
looking
And
at
he will
tower
go
math, Jake.
Down the middle,
Right in the
yes.
These next
All
few
right.
moves.
Cons, you
are
got
massive.
options. Take your
You
time.
look top to bottom. There are only a few
It's-
directions to go.
I must say, down here though, the tower looks relatively stable at the moment. A lot of times when you get to 30 blocks, it's shaking all over the place. Looks like a sturdy tower.
No Tittleman's Crest there. That definitely prolongs the game a little longer. That'll add about 2 to 3 moves to the game right there, Jake. Had he
Cons-
gone for the middle,
Yep.
excuse me, we would have had probably less than 2 or 3.
Fuck.
Okay,
I don't
Spider
appreciate the
just-
profanity, Spider.
Sorry.
I don't know
Never
what
know
that
what
was
you get from
about.
Spider. Spider's a very vocal ref.
I don't think you did.
He came very close to 2 hands, it sounds like.
I didn't see it.
No call on the floor just
I
yet.
think
Are we
we-
going to get a review, though?
I didn't see a thing.
I don't.
I think you're fine by
They're
me.
saying
Yeah, I
no.
think
They're
I
saying
had
no.
hands
I didn't know what he was
Yeah,
reacting
I
It
don't
was
to.
very
know.
close, but I wanted
Not
to-
enough to warrant a review. So onwards with the match. Back to the top of the order to Liz. Block 32.
Now this decision pivotal as well.
This is a tough one,
This
Liz.
will also prolong. If she goes to an outside block, it'll prolong the game.
it's a game of fingers.
And Liz
And, oh, look at those
finds
fingers
the
work
block
their magic.
immediately and gets it out.
There was a couple instances there where if Liz
that far enough
and
down?
Cons had gone back-to-back Tittleman's Crest, we would have been put in a situation where we could have had a final move. A final move meaning that there would be no moves left. But these two side blocks have guaranteed the match will go on as long as the pulls
Liz, can we
successful,
compare
a little
hands?
longer.
Just want to see if your fingers are regulation. Yes, they are.
Have
Okay,
big-ass
wow.
hands.
Yeah. Just very graceful fingers.
Take your time.
Now it is back to Kate. Only one player has 2 losing blocks in league play so far. That's Feidelberg. If Kate does it, she would join him in that category.
Ooh, smooth criminal right there.
I felt pretty good about it.
Now, Kate has actually agreed to reveal the gender of her kid during this match, so she'll be telling all of us that next turn.
Yes.
Tune in.
Like it.
It's a winner.
It's a winner. That's
Surprise.
right. You heard that here first. Kate is packing a winner.
Here's Big Ev.
Oh. A little shaky. That chalk's crumbling, I would say. But
Got it out
ball
quickly.
by Ev.
And Jeff, this match, the intensity and the
You dirty
gameplay
dog.
seems like
set you up for that.
unlike
That was
anything
my
we've ever
fault.
seen because
That was my
every
fault.
turn just seems so quick.
Yeah, and I want to note that now Cons must tower in the middle due to where Kate
easy with the taps.
put the
like,
her block, and now tower math comes into play here, Jake.
After watching the last group, I realized that I'm screwed by being in this
Might be able
group
to
because
pull
they are
that
just
one.
phenomenally better than every other team I've seen today.
You think so?
Yes.
gently pull it, maybe see.
I
Like,
don't like it.
okay. Don't
Only
worry
a
about
handful
it.
of moves
Wow,
left.
we are, yeah.
Just take your time.
Yeah.
Maybe try some loose tugs. Oh, perfect.
Oh, we found a crest
You do you.
on row 4.
Huge move.
Tower's wobbling. Yeah, just take your time.
This would eliminate.
Give it a nice little.
This would eliminate another Ooh, letting
Not
it
out
hang
yet.
up there is so
Not out
risky.
yet.
I'm only seeing
Okay.
Whoa, I've
Some
seen
movement.
that.
You nailed it.
When people forget
Steps
about
back.
the drop, I've seen that come back to
Deep
haunt 'em,
breath.
and the whole thing
But
falls
now
apart.
we have seen people struggle with this middle retower.
Not cons though.
No issue there. Look at that.
Sliding it in.
Can you finish it
Smooth.
off?
It's textbook.
Yep.
Indeed, and even cleans it
Fixing
up
it for
Big
everyone.
on
Ed
the
spent
edges.
20 minutes.
All right.
Like
This
that.
Beautifully
I
done.
don't blame him though. He didn't win.
Massive
14.
right here.
Back to Liz. You wouldn't want anyone else in this position, though, if you were Big Ed.
No, you would not.
Look at Liz put a little downward pressure on that to stabilize the tower as she pulls out. That's something you only see in the big leagues.
Ooh.
With most people, I'd be concerned how much it's shaking, but I think she's actually using the instability to her advantage, if that makes any sense.
Seems locked in on this west side.
I don't know about this one.
Slowly.
Oh,
My block
Most of
path
it's out.
is correct.
It is out.
If
Will she go left, right, or center?
Go middle.
Liz can place this, I think Kate's only going to have one row that she'll be able to attack.
That's what you think.
That's,
And
yeah,
it
that's
is
what I think.
good.
It's not a fact.
Now it's back
Two
to
moves.
Kate.
There's a couple moves on the board.
There are a few.
Take your time. Look for a good one. Get
New
out
fourth
there.
row has been unleashed. Some movement on the western block.
All quiet on the western block.
Shouldn't have looked at you guys. It's a mistake.
Kate already backtracking her cockiness once again. She said it would be a learning lesson, but we've seen her play loose.
I lied.
She's also a Marine who used to eat crayons, so I don't know.
I'm addicted to the drama.
Staring at us now as she pulls this out.
down.
And it's out for now. Cons is not on board.
Fucking crazy.
That was a
I
pivotal
can't help
move.
it. Okay.
Oh, doctor.
All right.
All right.
This
This
is
good.
huge.
This
Taking
is
years off my
huge
life.
for Big Ed.
Knock it off.
Full sleep. Okay.
Oh, man.
Now I'm serious.
Okay,
The
thanks.
state of the tower, pretty high.
Yeah.
Taller than our basketball rim, as you can see on your screen right now. Initially looking for that fourth row. Jeff, top down, fourth row. Is it the move here? Or is there other ways to go?
There is, unless I'm missing it, there's no other row to attack right now.
Personal advice, I would look at them while I did it if I was you.
60 seconds to
wouldn't
pick a
even.
Yeah,
block.
there is no other row.
Yeah, you gotta pick.
I think this side or that side.
See if you can pick the middle one now.
Huh.
Give the middle one a little space to. There, good.
Feel it out. Check the loads.
30 seconds to pick that
There you
block.
go, there you go,
As we
there
go
you
with
Which
it.
block
There's
is
some
bearing
movement in the
biggest
Tittleman's
load?
crest.
Yeah, nice
And
and
don't
slow.
go for that. All right, I think he has picked a block. Now this turn will still probably continue for another 10 minutes, but that's
So I
that's
think
why
if
we're
he's
here.
committing to
Cons.
that,
The
You would
middle
be able
block.
to go right, 2 down.
15 seconds to pick a block.
He's picked.
so he is
Liz
picking that.
says
This, we can now say it.
picked.
That last move by Kate may end up being the dagger in the team. If Ev can place this on the tower, there are no more moves left for Cons.
So big decision by Ev to go middle instead of one of the
Had
sides.
Ev gone to the side, they would have been alive.
This is tense.
But he still has
wow.
work cut out for
And
him.
the game
Yeah.
would have extended because it would have added a new row. Kate's move on that last one should have been one of the left or right blocks. If this falls, though, it doesn't matter. But she will be putting Cons potentially in a disastrous situation if Ev can pull this, which is not a guarantee. This thing is tough right now.
Right, we are at a pivotal point of this match. If Ev completes it, Cons will have to go tablecloth or bust.
And notice Liz had Ev go for that middle block too. So why don't you check the middle block out? A smart veteran move. That's why this team is where they are. Can Ev finish it off, though?
Khan thrives under pressure,
Slowly
damn it.
but surely, as our Skycam presented by
That's why I
Heine Hard
did what I
Seltzer
did.
shows the progress Ev has made on that
Now, she-
middle block.
See 2 rows down? There was a move where it's a 2 rows down move. I thought that was. I thought you were going to have that whole row.
It's tough. It's not easy. This would be a winning move potentially, but he's got to get it out.
At this point, I try and punch it through the other way.
Some more progress made by the Ohio State grad.
It's moving slowly but surely. The tower is going to recoil a little bit away from him, but I don't think that's going to matter much. He's making sure that that third row, the block closest to him on the in the near side, is not going to fall out.
Yeah, we have a triple hanger, and it's out.
It's out. Great pull. Didn't recoil
And-
much.
Okay.
Easy position
So
to
I'm
retower.
sorry.
Lets it settle. Cleaning it up.
I mean, that's
Is
a
it
messy
good enough for
drop.
Spider? No.
He's going to have to kiss him. He's going to reset a little bit. Smart by Ev.
You can see the gap. Good call by our official.
The nerves
That
right
didn't
now.
do
There's a
anything.
big gap. He can
Yep,
see it.
Still has work to do.
You can use the block over there if you need some.
He's not an apple box
Leverage.
guy. I don't think he's pleased with the placement there. I think he's bummed that he dropped it the way he did.
There's a kiss on one side. Still a gap,
You can't
though.
go
A
third
little
row
bit
down.
more.
Not good
Ev.
enough.
A
Wow,
little
there-
bit
He was
more.
hoping he could get away with that one. This is it. I mean,
Over here.
Which side?
this is a potential
Jeff, the right
Whatever
call.
side that
Yeah,
one
this is a
Like,
game-ending kiss potentially. He can
got it. Don't
lock
you-
this up, all but lock it up. Cons could pull off a David Blaine miracle.
Slow it down.
It's not good enough.
That's good.
It is, and Big Ev
So
with a
Cons,
big move.
The only move here, we've seen this. We've had this scenario a couple times. No one's attempted the tablecloth move. They've tried to remove a split bice, where there's a block on the left and right side, an east and west side, where they've tried to move a block to the middle while pulling out another. That's been a disaster every time.
Now-
No one's tried the straight yank to have the tower drop down on land on
See
itself.
this one?
There's a few options. You can
No,
pull
the one
a
above.
single block
That's
under
the
two
one.
and try to have them positioned to create a new full
Fast
row.
as a
Or you can try to eliminate
motherfucker.
a hanger, like in the
Just
middle of the tower,
artillery
where it would
plug.
drop one block on top of another
Fast as
single
a
block.
motherfucker.
That's the only option
Well,
he has.
we go.
Otherwise, the game is over. It's a boom or bust
Fuck,
move. It's
man.
never been pulled off. If he does pull it off, though, he will be a legend. A legend in Jenga.
Block
wanna make sure
39,
that
our
they're
second
wide
most
enough.
popular pick, picked by
land
11%
on
of you
So
at
it'll
home.
land even
Yeah.
on.
Hans
Watch
picked
your
by just
fingers.
24% in question 5.
Are you allowed to use
So
your
I
own
think what he's
lube
about
if
to
you bring
try
it,
and
just
do, I
to-
think he's going to try and
just to
pull
get
the
one of these
block
lubed
this
out
time.
for the
and then
Give it
have
like a-
the two blocks on the left and right, east and west side, drop down to create a brand new full row.
I think you got it.
That I think
Rip
is
it out.
Like
That's probably the
Ah!
better move. You want to have the least amount of blocks dropping down too. Again, we've never
Or,
seen it
you
done.
know,
This is all just
so
speculation.
nervous.
I gotta just yank.
Or do you
this
want
thing.
more
go.
blocks?
He just
dropping
has to
down?
do it. He's got to do it as quick as he possibly
More
can.
stability.
When he first starts, it has to be
Ooh.
lightning
God
fast.
bless.
He looks to be locked in. Will it work?
Or you,
a mother, just artillery.
No, it's a Jenga, and T'Chak
That was
moves
close.
to 2-0. 0-2 for Josh Duhamel.
Huge. The biggest moment of that match was Ev going for that tower. Liz said, "Why don't you give that middle block a try?"
What
he
about this, though? If
dislodged
you pulled
the
out-
east
if you
block or
pulled out
the
this, like-
right block and moved the middle enough for
Teamwork
to
right
extract
there.
that middle block
Perfect.
and put Kate and Cons in a position where they had no move. They
right,
Josh
Kate and
Duhamel
Cons
falls
are
to
going
0-2.
over here
T'Chak,
for
the number one ranked
quick
team in
interview.
most people's eyes, a very sturdy 2-0. They have a stranglehold
look at
on this
you.
group.
I didn't know.
2-0 for T'Chak on top of the Group C standings, but in the basement, it is Team Josh Duhamel at 0-2, and they are at the Phillips and Knuckle Locker with Donnie.
So do you guys get any solace from the fact that there were no more moves to make that anyone has successfully made? It was only a clothesline.
No, because losing's losing. Whether we lost like that or whether we lost on the first pull, it's still a loss. You know, you like to think you got a chance no matter what when you go into the square. And
Yeah.
I thought maybe I could pull it fast enough, and I couldn't.
And Kate, earlier in the match, you said that your kid is a winner. Is he still a winner even though you're a loser?
No, he is also a loser now, which sucks. I'm really sorry.
You heard it here first. She's got a loser in the womb.
Yeah.
All right, back to the booth.
All right, thanks so much, Donnie and
That is
Jeff.
true.
Let's get to our close shave of the match presented by Phillips and Relco. It is going to be that losing block.
plenty
He
of
went for
time
the
for him to become
tablecloth
aware.
move, did not work out.
Yeah, the obvious one here, Liz.
Yes.
Got to give her part
will never
with
financially
the coaching and tell Ev to go for the middle block. It's set cons up where the only thing he could do is a tablecloth move. He tried the tablecloth move where it is a block underneath 2 blocks,
He doesn't wanna
meaning
come
those
to
2
the,
above it would drop down, creating a full row. That didn't work. The last thing we have not seen tried now is a single block under a single block to make 2 single blocks on top of each other. Will that be the next time it's attempted? We've seen this situation a bunch. We're going to probably see it again, if not Thursday, next week. What will they do? It's time for teams to start figuring out what they'll do in this situation. They must practice it. It's like practicing a Hail Mary in a practice. You have to give it a try. You need to know what to do.
The favorites in the league are favorites for a reason. The Chalk is 2-0, and they are down the stream with Donnie.
Yeah, so you guys are now the team to beat in the whole league. That's a position that a lot of teams would love to have, but that's also a position that comes with a lot of pressure. How are you guys handling it?
We don't listen. We don't listen to the good. We don't listen to the bad. We just listen to each other. Mm-hmm. Teamwork, baby. Teamwork.
Yeah.
Us against the world.
Do you think you guys are going to start like watching football together on the weekends, trying to build up your
Just good
team
juju.
chemistry?
Yeah, just good juju. I think we got it. Are you nervous about us? You're in our group.
Extremely.
Yeah?
Extremely.
I mean,
Yeah.
we
I
already
like that
beat you.
honest answer.
Yeah, no, you guys are a painful team to go up against, and I was hoping I would see you go down in flames. But I didn't, so let's go back to the fucking booth.
All right, thank you, Donnie. The Chalk, they were the preseason favorites, and I think the Stoolies are now seeing why. 2-0, they never fall under pressure.
Absolutely the best team out there right now. They're going to be the ones to beat when playoff time rolls around. They're not in yet.
Nope.
I don't want to jinx them, but I think there's no question in my mind they're going to waltz on out of this
And
group.
how about for Team Josh Duhamel on the flip side, 0-2? Time to panic?
They've lost basically the last match. They lost where if they had pulled the block, their last poll, they would have set PFT, the football team, and Kelly Martin up for the same situation they
yeah.
just lost
I
in.
don't know
That
if
is
I'm playing
terrible
for.
luck. They've played really well, but this is just Jenga. It's the brutality of Jenga.
All right, on the Play Barstool app, unfortunately, no winners today, so that $500 will roll over to Thursday afternoon's broadcast, $1,000 on the line. However, we do have someone, as always, who went 0 for 6. Congrats to CEO God38, 0 for 6, and a $50 Barstool Sports store gift card is coming your way. That'll do it for our broadcast this evening. Shout out to everybody in the booth, our commissioner and producer, Hank, John Foley running replay. We've got Dylan, Max, Sean running stats, and then Stefan, Steve pressing all the right buttons, Andrew Manley, Pete, and Colby as well. For our sideline reporter, the Wonton Don, my broadcast partner, Jeff D'Lo, I'm Jake Marsh, signing off from the Triple S, where the Chalk wins, Pubes 1 wins, and the Berserkers in our first match victorious as well. Have a great night, and we will see you back here on Thursday.